I'm gonna show you something beautiful. Everyone screaming for mercy. You want to protect.
Working on Avengers was one of the highlights of my entire time there. I got to work in a very close-knit group of people, got to work on some really cool effects, and it was just a fun environment. I also had to experience their heightened security that was required by working on a Disney film. Hi, I'm Corin Interview, a digital visual effects artist for film, television and other digital media. I'm currently working as a tutor at the Academy of Interactive Entertainment. While I was finishing the second year of my advanced diploma at college, I was given the chance to train at Animal Logic here in Sydney. The choices were rotoscoping or match move. Neither are things that I were particularly interested in specialising in at the time, but I chose match move because I've always had a keen interest in cameras and photography. Match move is the invisible art and science of reconstructing a three-dimensional camera from a two-dimensional shot, essentially matching the field of view and the movement that the camera makes. After completion of the training, I got a call back from Animal Logic a couple of weeks later, offering me a position as a junior match move artist on Angelina Jolie's film Unbroken.
However dark the night, however dim our hopes.
Inbound 4 o'clock low.
I spent around 6 months on Unbroken and worked on close to 100 shots. It was a very steep learning curve, getting used to the studio's pipeline and also learning the software a lot more in depth. Luckily I had incredible support, both my supervisor Barker James and my close colleague Richard Skelton. I found it quite easy to fit in and then start developing my skills more and more over those few months.
You can take it, you can make it. You can do this, Lou. You just gotta believe you can. Pop does. Ma does. I do.
After Unbroken wrapped up, due to the nature of the film industry, I was let go. But it wasn't for long. A few weeks later, I was called and offered a position as a match move artist again on Insurgent, the second in the Divergent trilogy.
We don't have the numbers.
We will.
Insurgent was full of its hardships as well. Had to learn how to track anamorphic footage, and also working with very little and inaccurate data as well.
Dark times call for extreme measures. Let's begin.
So while I was working on Insurgent, I also had the chance to work on Avengers Age of Ultron. And that was quite fortuitous how that came about. A couple of shots had come in quite early on, and they just needed someone to track those few shots. And as I was one of the few people that had actually finished their quota for that day, they just threw me straight on. While working on Avengers Age of Ultron, I had the chance to move between departments, both into layout and compositing, something I've always been interested in. So in essence, in one short year after graduating college, I got to work on 3 major feature films. My best advice for anyone wanting to break into the industry: take every opportunity that comes by, even if it's not necessarily something you're interested in. As I found on Avengers, you can actually move between departments when you start to get to know people. I've always been a specialist, more focused on the very end of the entire visual effects process, compositing and lighting. But I actually found that after working in match move, it's one of those things that I love to actually do. Stay social with the relevant groups, such as ACM SIGGRAPH, the DLF, or the Australian Cinematographers Society. Be persistent and master a couple of traits, not just one, and try and space them out so that you've got skills that are useful at both the beginning and the end of the pipeline. It's a very competitive industry to get into, but it's also one of the most rewarding. In essence, you're working in a team of thousands of people all around the globe, all working for one common goal: to create a beautiful film which someone can walk into a cinema for 2 hours and let go of everything and just enjoy the story.